I got into archery when Mike and I first got married, and it was kind of funny because my dad was an archer as I was growing up as a kid, but I actually had never tried archery, and it wasn't until we got married and he decided he wanted to try archery, so he found a little bow shop over in Clearwater, Florida, where we had moved to, and it was unusual for me because I saw all these women, children, and men, and I just had always thought, well, it's just going to be a shop full of men shooting. So we would go a couple nights a week, and it was really fun actually just watching him shoot and learn the sport, but also watching other women especially learn the sport. And I thought, well, I think this is something I can do. So we bought a bow, and I started taking lessons and then practicing with him, and that's how I really got started in archery. Once we moved back to Vero after about a year in Clearwater, and we started shooting here, and then it just seemed like a natural progression that I would try some state tournaments, and I did those, was really successful, won a whole bunch of state tournament titles, and then I started shooting national tournaments on just an amateur women's basis and was really good. I had one year where I placed in the top 4, I think, the entire year at all the tournaments. So I decided to go professional the next year, and I've been shooting professionally I think for about the last 8 years, and have won one of the national titles in the women's professional division, and really have just loved the sport. I've gotten to travel all over the country, just seen lots of unusual places, and really met really unique people who I don't think I would have met otherwise. And that's probably one of the things that really draws me to the sport, is the kindness I see in the people in the sport, and the interactions between not just the women I shoot with, but I see the women, I see their children, I see their husbands. It's very much a family sport, and that's why I wanted to introduce the sport really to others in the area, not just me enjoying it with my husband and my family, but really to allow others to see how enjoyable this sport is. And we recently had one of our students who went to his first big national tournament. He actually went out to Las Vegas, and it's the biggest indoor tournament in the world. And I was kind of nervous for him because it was his first tournament, and to go to really your first tournament and at that stage of the game, I was like, oh, I hope this goes well. But he was fantastic. He had a great time. His mom and him were texting me the whole time, and one of her comments to me was, thank you so much for giving us this opportunity. You allowed us to see a whole nother part of our son that we wouldn't have seen any other way. So for us, that's why we do what we do.